It is Tuesday. How are we doing, everyone? What is going on? It is Tuesday, like I said before. It was absolutely beautiful outside here in Colorado Springs. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was super hot, actually. I'm not used to that weather. It, it's usually like 50 some degrees, and today it was like 78. 80 degrees today, everybody. It was absolutely insane. I love warm weather. I have to put sunscreen on. I'm like, all right, it's about to be summertime, you guys. It was gorgeous, nice and sunny. It gave us all a different energy today. My boys, we went to the zoo. Hey, Tammy, what's going on? If you're joining in, remember to hashtag I'm here or hashtag replay, right? Because I want to deliver a ton of value to you guys tonight. I want to be able to tell you a little bit about my story, my struggles with eating, and how I overcame them, and what harms you can put on the body if you're not eating enough. So this is going to be absolutely good. I'm really excited to talk about this because it's something that I overcame, and it took a while to overcome. It wasn't something easy. It was not easy. It took a while. 17 years into working out, off and on, and learning and having kids and getting my personal trainer certificate and finally being able to train others. That's when I was finally able to learn the real truths about how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, what other decisions you should make when you are eating, how to work out, when to work out, what times work best for you. Like, this is everything that I was able to learn. But today, you guys, it is all about the eating struggles, right? It is all about what is going on inside your head, how you're able to deal with that emotion, how to deal with the emotions of eating while having problems with um, what is going on, why you are eating this way. You okay? Okay, sorry. Heard Zion say, "Mommy." So I heard something knocked down. So I don't know what it was, but when you stop, you're like, "Hold on, what happened?" I heard something, but it was um, it was a really hard time for me, especially since I was at my heaviest weight, right? So these are things that I want to start with. Have you struggled ever before? Have you ever struggled with eating before? Have you ever even had a struggle? If you haven't, that is okay. This could still be useful to you. If you have, this is definitely for you. If you are still struggling with food, if you're still trying to tell yourself you shouldn't eat, you shouldn't eat that, you shouldn't eat that, you shouldn't eat that because you are going to be as fat as you were before, this is for you, right? This is for you. Here are is another question that I want to ask for you. What were the challenges that you had um, eating when you were heavy and then you lost weight? Or what challenges are you going through right now with eating in general? What are some things that you're telling yourself why you're eating? Is it, I shouldn't eat that because it's too many calories? I shouldn't consume that because I'm going to get more fat. I'm already fat, so I can't eat that. Everybody tells me I shouldn't eat, so I just don't. Whenever I go to the restaurant, someone tells me I shouldn't order that because it's too fattening. Or what are some challenges have you developed, or have you been through or had? Was it your parents always trying to tell you you're getting too fat? You need to eat this instead, or you're getting too heavy, or buying you the smaller size clothes just to show you that you should be wearing this instead of that heavier set. Like, things like that are very traumatizing to you as a child, even if you're older now, right? Even if you're older now, what is the challenges that you have? What is the challenges that you have or had faced going through your eating habits, right? All of these traumas can overtake your mind, and not knowing exactly where they're coming from, or not knowing how to deal with them, or you don't even notice, but it's affecting your eating habits. And all of that is all into one thing, right? So this is like almost therapy, but I'm not a therapist. So this is why I need you to, if this is something that is really, 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 really hard for you to deal with, and if it's really, really hard for you to overcome and eating, that's when you do need to see a therapist. But I'm just going to tell you my struggles and how I was able to overcome them and be able to get to where I am now and be okay with eating and saying, you know what, I feel great with this, and I don't care what I ate. It was good. It was delicious. I don't have to make sure that I'm running 16 more miles today so I can burn off all the meal that I just ate. I ate it. It was good. It's going to fuel me for tomorrow and tonight to be able to deliver some amazing value to you guys. All right, so let's get into it. But first, first things first, I want to get started with this statement. If I eat this bite or past 5 p.m., if I eat, I'm going to get fat, right? Who of you have said this? Which one of you has said this? Yo, I have. I'm guilty as charged. I have said this countless times before, especially when I was 16 and 15 years old, when I first lost 91 pounds. And I was still at my lowest weight, and I would still say that same thing. And sometimes it still affects me today, but it's weird. I've developed and overcame that. So now I do not, like, if it comes to me, I'm able to fight it and battle on. I'm able to win this battle. And this wasn't true, right? If I eat this, I'm not going to get fat and gain 91 pounds in one night, right? that's insane. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, right? So this wasn't true in my mind. It was true, right? And while there would be this feeling of starving, of growling in my stomach, I was okay with that because I knew that I was losing weight. I was seeing results, right? And I was running about 70 miles a week. I was doing 21 hours of calisthenic work. I was so determined that I would hear my mom like late at night whenever I would act like I was going to bed, right? And um, I was so determined, and I wouldn't get all of my reps in before I went to bed. So, and before I finished my homework. So I was like, all right, I got to finish my homework. I got to do this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do some more workouts. I'm gonna do some more reps before I go to bed. So I would be in my room late at night working out as quiet as possible, just so nobody would hear me, and I would stay up until I finished my last round of sets, or last round of reps that I need to finish for my calisthenic workout. Or she would say, "Man, Isaac, are you working out? I can hear you." And it would be like I'd be doing calf raises, or you'd hear my shelf, so I'd use my shelf to balance me. And I was, no, I'm asleep. So I'm just addicted to working out. That time it was a little bit more unhealthy addiction, and it turned out to be where I am now, which is I love to work out. It's just a part of my life. But my whole mindset was that it was off, but at the time I would feel great, right? Telling myself, no, you just need to finish these few reps. You need to finish this. You need to finish this. Um, I would feel great. I was swimming in the clothes that I had. I was only 115 pounds. Before I was 201, 202 pounds. Like, I was swimming in my clothes. I was feeling great. I was feeling energized. I was having so many um, positive things happen for me. Like, people would notice me, right? People would notice me. People would say, "Hey, oh, I see you losing weight. You look good." I'm gonna be like, "Thanks. It feels good." Like, people noticing that you're losing weight, people seeing the results that you have, people seeing differences about you, all the positive things rather than the negative comments like you're getting too fat. You shouldn't be on the swim team. You're too fat. Oh man, look how fat he is. Oh man, he's just really fat. Um, oh man, he's in this size of a pant. I was embarrassed to show like the size of pants that I was in. By fourth grade, I was in a size 28 pants. men's size. Like that's how big I was. I was just a big kid, right? I don't know if you women know exactly what the size is. I think that would be, I want to say like a 10, size 10 or 12 or something like that. That would be the size, I think. I'm not exactly too sure, but it was pretty big for a fourth grader, right? It was intense. So my whole mindset was off. I was just so determined to be skinny, right? I was just so determined to be skinny. I wanted to be swimming in my clothes. I just felt great. Whenever I looked at myself, I just saw that I was skinny. And but when I saw myself without the shirt, it was I I need to fix this. I need to fix this. I need to fix this, right? So all these things can traumatize you, right? If you're being told you're fat all the time, if you're being told you shouldn't eat that, if you're being told this is all of those things are going to traumatize you. And at the moment, you may not notice it, but later on, you're going to see that's why I'm skipping meals. That's why I'm okay with not eating. That's why I'm looking at this and I don't want to eat too much because I'm going to get too fat. Or I'm going to see my fat self again. And with that being said, that that whole mindset, it was like um, borderline food. I had some type of food disease. Like I just didn't like I saw myself and I wanted to be thin, but every time I saw myself, I kept seeing the fatter Isaac that I was. And at the moment, that would have to change. I noticed that I was seeing that person every time I would look in the mirror. Oh, I just need to get rid of this and this and this. Do you think I should just get plastic surgery? Do you think I should do this? Like it was pretty intense, you guys. Like there was a lot of things going on in my head that I had to deal with, and this isn't as hard to say because I've been really open with my story. And but I know that not all of us are able to be this open because people of judgment. I don't honestly care what people think anymore because of I want to save someone else's life. If my story can help you and save you and help you with the overcome these eating problems that you may be having, and this right here, I want you to listen, right? Seeing myself as 115 pounds, but still seeing myself as fat, that was an issue. That was something that was wrong up here. That's why I was not eating past 5. That's why I was still eating only fist plate sizes, portion sizes. I'm sure I was only getting maybe 800 calories in, and my calories out was probably 3,000 calories out because I'm running like 11 to 12 miles a day, right? And it was Monday through Sunday. There was no breaks. It was all the time. So it was a lot of miles. It was a lot of miles. So that means that I wasn't getting enough calories. So I wasn't going to see the results I wanted to see. Like, why can't I have a six pack? Why can't I be a little bit more built? Why can't I do this? Why can't I look like him? And if what are the things that are going through my head? How am I going to overcome those things? So I was starting to pass out a few times here and there, and then I was like, okay, it's not that. It's probably because I just got up too fast. But then it started happening almost every morning in the shower, or so it would happen quite often whenever my blood pressure would go down. I was just hungry. So at that point, I said, okay, well, let me eat something else. It wasn't really changing what I was doing, but I was just adding a little bit more, right? This is how I overcame eating. This is how I was okay with eating a little bit more each time. I was noticing that I was having a problem, and not all of us notice it, but I noticed that I was having a problem. So I wanted to overcome this, and I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be passing out all the time. Like, what if this is chronic? What this could be a real issue, right? My parents thought I was throwing up all the time, like I was bulimic because I was losing so much weight, and they didn't really notice it until people were saying, "Oh my gosh, is he okay? He's really skinny. I just want to feed him some potatoes or something." And then that's when, like, when they heard other people saying things, that's when my mom would even tell my twin brother, like, "Go check on your brother, make sure he's not throwing up," and after dinner. But that's that was the biggest thing. Was at the time I didn't think it was that big of an issue. So then I was able to finally say, this is an issue and I'm going to fix it, right? I'm going to fix it. So let me start eating after 5. Whenever I'm hungry, let me just eat a little snack. Let me just get something. A week goes by, I started doing that. I didn't change about everything. I just kept eating what I was eating, still the same portion sizes, but I added another little meal or snack in after 5 p.m. Started noticing I was a little more energized. Started to notice that my passing out wasn't happening as often. And I started being able to challenge myself a little bit more with working out. I wasn't so exhausted. I was able to run faster, just with a little bit extra. It wasn't even like a whole meal. It was probably like another 300 calories. So then I started saying, you know what? If this is what I'm seeing, right? If this is what I'm seeing myself go and push myself a little bit more. I'm seeing myself feel energized, right? I'm seeing myself push through a little bit more, run faster. I'm getting stronger. I'm not so tired, and I'm able to run longer periods of time. Maybe I should eat a little bit more. And this kid's still the same meals, but I add a little bit more to each plate. I'm just gonna have a little bit more. I'm just gonna have a little bit more. So it wasn't that I was gonna slam down a whole bunch of sandwiches all in each time. It was adding a little bit more, and that is called reverse dieting. Everybody, it is called reverse dieting. I didn't know it at the time, but just adding a little bit more each day. But it wasn't someone telling me to do that. It was me noticing, and that's how I was able to overcome this eating issue that I was having. So if you're in the same boat as me and you're having so many problems with I'm going to get fat if I'm going to eat this, try to give yourself a little bit more, but notice the positive outcome of how much you're eating. If you're eating 300 calories, but you're feeling less lethargic, you're able to stay up through work all day and you feel a little bit more focused when you are working. You're getting a lot more done in the hour rather than 3 hours. You're like, dang, I got all that done in an hour, but it usually takes me 3. But your food intake has increased maybe 200 calories more that week, right? If you're noticing these positive things, like, oh man, I pushed myself a little harder this time I went to the gym. Instead of running, I usually run a mile and I'm just so exhausted, right? Not saying that that's you, but this is just example. But now with that 300 calories more a day now that I'm intaking, I'm able to run for 2 miles and really fast without getting as tired. So now you're feeding your body, right? You're seeing these positive outcomes, and then you start seeing more results. You start seeing you go faster. You start seeing more muscle mass and definition in the body. You start seeing the belly fat come down, right? You're like, but I'm seeing all these positive things, but I'm eating more. Isn't that weird? I'm supposed to be eating less to be able to see these results. And that's where I want to get into how your body does and what happens when you're on the least amount of calories, right? You heard all of my issues. I was passing out, I was lethargic, I wasn't as focused, right? So these are things that were common for me to have, but other people may be experiencing different outcomes. If you're not eating enough, you're probably not going to see belly fat come down. You're probably not going to see your arm fat, your back fat. You're not going to see your booty come down. The cellulite's probably not going away, and you've been at this deficit for how long? So you being able to increase a little bit more, and that's maybe just another yogurt, right? That could be a 190 calories, just another yogurt. And then now all of a sudden that whole week you added 190 calories more to each day, and now you're seeing different results, right? Why is that? Why is it that we're seeing these results when we're eating more, but we've been programmed to eat less? Because if we eat less, we're going to see more results. We're going to go ahead and feel better. We're going to see body fat come down. We're going to be skinnier. We're going to weigh less. Yes, but that's not always the case. Remember, your body is always using energy. That's why they call it your metabolism, right? I'm breaking this down really simple for you guys because this is how I was able to understand it. And being able to understand it and putting it in layman's terms is a lot better than saying, you know what, your hypothalamus, your brain. I'm just going to say, like, all these things are super simple and is going to be able to be remembered, right? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to remember it. I want you to feel good about this education that I'm providing for you, this value, and be able to take it and go on with your life. This is how you change your life. This is how you are going to see the changes in your life. This is how you're going to see that belly fat come at you, that stubborn belly fat, right? You hear it on the commercials all the time. Get rid of that stubborn belly fat. Get rid of your cellulite. We're always trying to get rid of something, right? Well, your body, if you're not consuming enough, it is going to stay stagnant, but it is also going to store body fat. So every time you intake something or you eat it, you intake calories, it is going to break it down to a simplest form, which is your carbohydrates, right? Which is your carbohydrates. And your body's main source of energy is your carbohydrates. So some things break down really fast, which is simple sugars, which is your simple carbohydrates, things that can break down really fast, but you can also eat more of, like pasta, right? Things that don't make you feel full, like pizza, or things that you want to can keep eating, like fries, right? Something like that. Those are simple carbohydrates. They don't have a lot of vitamins. They don't have a lot of minerals. They have a lot of highly processed fats. So all of a sudden your body's able to process them quick and be able to store it, right? So if you're only intaking 800 calories or 1500 calories or less, but you are working out for an hour to 2 hours a day and you're getting 16,000 steps a day, you're losing close to 2,000 calories a day just in workouts and steps. So if you're only intaking 800 to 1,000 calories, what is your body needing, right? It is in this crazy deficit that it needs more. It's like you're going to apply for your loan, right? And your bank is like, all right, well, this is how much you got to pay me every month. This is how much you're gonna have to pay me to pay this off. So your body is in a debt, right? Is in debt with calories. It doesn't have the calories. So now it's got to catch up. It's got to store it. So it's like, all right, well, I'm behind payments. So I'm only taking 800, but I owe 2,500 calories, right? I'm only taking 800 calories, but I owe 2,500. I'm losing 2,500 calories a day, but I'm only intaking 800. Your payments are 2,500. Where's all that money coming from? Well, it's just going to wait, right? All those calories are just going to wait. They're just going to be stored. Well, let me save up for the next payment. Let me keep saving up for the next payment, right? So let me pay. Let me just hold on to the money. Let me just hold on to the calories that I just ate and just hold it. I'm going to store it on this part of the bank over here. I'm going to store it in the back right here. I'm going to store it right here behind my leg or right here in my belly. I'm going to store it right there for now, just so we have enough for the next time that we can pay the next time. And every time you're not able to pay the bank, you're not able to pay your body. So it's just going to keep holding all the calories like money. It's going to hold it. It's going to hold it until you have enough to pay the bank, right? Until you have enough to pay your payment. So it's storing it. It keeps storing it. And it's saying, I can use a little here. I'm going to go ahead and use a little here. I'm just going to use it for the basics, right? I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that we're functioning and being able to see, hear, taste, smell, think, be able to move a little bit, not a lot because I'm exhausted. I don't have a lot of money. So your body is in this extreme deficit and it doesn't have anything to use, right? So how is it going to be able to see results? How are you going to be able to pay that debt back? You have to eat. You have to give it what it needs, right? Once you start feeding your body, all your vital organs start working correctly. They're able to say, oh, I'm getting this. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and pay this guy. I'm going to go ahead and pay this guy. I'm going to go ahead and pay this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And everything starts working more. So the more you feed it, you have to pay more people, but you're getting all your payments paid. So all of these different parts of your body are now using more energy. They're able to function correctly because they're able to get enough energy that you ate to function right. So now your body is actually losing more calories during a calorie surplus. Calorie surplus is not a bad word, guys. Calorie surplus is not a bad word. It is a surplus, just means you're eating more than you were before, right? It's eating more than you were before. Reverse dieting means you're doing it slowly. So you're making a little bit more money, you're making a little bit more payments, but now you're making more money. You have to pay this person, you have to pay this person. Your body has to move this part of your body. Your body has to move this part of your body. And it's shutting certain organs down a little by little just to be able to survive with the basics. Okay, I have to pee. Okay, cool. Well, I'm still going to store this. We're not going to use that. We're just going to keep it here on the belly. We're just going to keep it over here, right here. We're going to keep it on the back. We're going to keep it on our butt. We're going to go ahead and keep it right here behind our legs. Your body is saying, if you give me more calories, I will burn more calories. And in turn, I will start using the stored fat around your belly. I will start using the stored fat behind your legs. I will use that stored fat behind your arms. I will use that stored fat behind your back. And I will start giving you the results you want to see because you paid me, because you're giving me food. You're giving me a little bit more to work with, right? So this is how I was able to overcome with my eating issue. I was able to say, look, my body needs calories for energy, and I'm seeing more results. It's crazy. I know it's hard to fathom, but once you start adding in a little bit here and there, if you start saying, I'm going to go ahead and add a yogurt for a snack every day, just to see if I feel a little bit more energized, or if I feel that I get a little bit more in, and then all of a sudden now you're like 2 pounds lighter. And you're like, those stubborn 2 pounds I've been trying to lose for the past year and a half, and I just added 190 calories each day, and now all of a sudden I lost it and I added more food? Like, what the heck? There it is. So I want you the next time to battle that certain mindset that's saying, no, you got to work out 10 times harder to lose whatever you just ate. You got to work out twice as hard to lose whatever you just ate, right? So it is huge. It is huge. Yeah, it's insane. Eating is better for seeing results. It's absolutely crazy because we have been so consumed by all these weight loss products. Every diet is a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter whatever diet you're in or whatever fad diet you're using, it is all a calorie deficit. But if you're not eating enough in general, and sometimes it's not even because we have a mind issue, it's because we don't have time and we lost track of, oh my god, it's already 12. How'd the whole morning go? And I didn't plan it out. I didn't stop to think about how am I going to function. I didn't stop to take a drink of water. I've been sitting here and I haven't even had to use the bathroom for the past 6 hours. That might be a problem. Remember, your body is still using water as a calorie, even though it is not a caloric intake, right? It's crazy. Your body is using it, but there's no calories. So it's taking in no calories, but it's using more calories to digest it. Isn't that crazy? So the more water you drink, you're speeding up metabolism. If you're feeding your body what it needs, you're going to see more results. So I want you to remember that the next time that your mind is saying, you got to work out for 3 hours of cardio and you got to go ahead and do 2 more hours of strength training just to lose that 1,000 extra calories you intook that day, which equaled 2,500 calories for the whole day. That is not a lot of calories. Depending on where you are in your calories, that it all depends on where you are. But mine is 2,500 or 3,000, depending on. Right now, I'm working to see what works best for me. And then I like to know and show you that it's okay to intake 2,000 calories. If your body weight times 10 is equaling less than 1,200 calories, make sure you're intaking more. So if your weight times 10, it should be a safe deficit for you to be able to consume. And if you're not even eating that much, so let's say you weigh 200 pounds times 10, that's 2,000. That's a really easy number. What if you weigh 170? Now your safe calorie deficit is over 1,500 calories. So now you're only at 1,700 calories. That's not too bad, right? So think about it really easy, and then start adding in a little bit more calories to see how you feel. I'm not saying add in a whole extra meal that's huge and obnoxiously filling. I'm saying just add in like a yogurt, add in, let's add another glass of orange juice. Simple things like that. Simple things like that is going to help you be able to see and break the difference of your stubborn belly fat, of your stubborn 2 pounds, right? So healthy snacking, which I need between meals, is a quick way to eat more. That is correct. I wouldn't choose if you have a different set of snacks. So remember that if you haven't eaten, or let's say you are starving, you are absolutely starving, and there's only 2 choices, right? And they're not the greatest choices. You can still eat those two. You can still eat one of those choices and still feel good about your specific your food intake that day. I count calories just to show me like, oh, okay, this is how many fats I'm actually intaking. This is how many calories I'm actually intaking. Even though I feel really full, I'm actually under calories. So let's just add another protein shake rather. So then I'll feel a little bit better about that healthy snack. But if I don't have a healthy snack, but there is, let's say, a bagel and then a donut, but the bagel seems to have a fruit in it, like a blueberry donut, but you don't have, or a blueberry bagel, but you have the donut over here that says, oh man, it's full of glazed. It's totally glazed and it has delicious sugars and sprinkles on it. Which one are you going to choose? I'm probably going to choose the bagel because it says it was whole wheat and it has blueberries in it. I'm only going to eat half of it because usually when I eat too much of it, I'm going to be really full. But at that time, you're not going to be ravenous when you get to dinner. And then now you're overeating because you skipped that snack that you were trying to avoid. So now you're actually still doing what you didn't want to do, even though you decided to not eat. So it's better to eat something than nothing at all. Just eat it slowly. Eat it nice and slow. Take a bite, do some work. Take another little bite, do some work. If it was a donut, you're taking 2 bites, that's probably 30 calories. Really, guys, it's not that bad. But that's still a little bit more than what you ate before. So I want you to think about this. When you are in that that mindset of, oh my God, I need to work out this much, I need to eat less because I'm going to get more fat, then I want you to remember, okay, well, what did Isaac say? I'm going to try this. I'm going to go ahead and just have this extra yogurt, or I'm going to take this apple with me just in case, because I've been really hungry lately and I've been trying to avoid eating, but I feel so hungry when I get back home at dinner time. And I'm like, oh my God, if I don't eat right now, and then you start snacking and then all the snacks come out. And then now you're already 300 calories in and you're like, but I could have had the small bagel for 150 calories. Right? So I want you to think about it that way. Like, all right, let me really think about this. Let me measure it out. Eating something is better than eating nothing at all. So if there are what you think may be horrible choices, I wouldn't count them as horrible choices. I'd count them as, you know what, I need to eat something because my stomach is growling and I feel like that's all I'm thinking about is food. So that just reminded me of that TikTok. All I think about is food every day and afternoon. Sorry, I just had to see that. Happens. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what's gonna happen. You are going to have an extreme ravenous session right before dinner, and now you're already way too many calories. And then what we're trying to avoid is that mindset of I'm gonna get fat, but now you overate. Or binge eating is something that we don't really, if you're doing it every day and you're binge eating at dinner time, at every single time at dinner time, then that's where you're binge eating. You're dealing with stress because you're binge eating, and now you're binge eating more because you're dealing with that stress of binge eating, and then it just keeps happening every day. That's more chronic. So you're overeating per se in that certain time. Well, I hope this has brought a ton of value to you guys. I know I start slowly, but I like to start with stories. I like to start with how I overcame these situations, how I struggled, how sometimes those thoughts still happen. It's because I'm a personal trainer doesn't mean none of these things happen to me. It's because of where I was, what I had to deal with in the past, and probably what you're dealing with right now. What are those things? What are those challenges? Write them down. How develop a plan. Um, and even if you don't have a plan, show like, hey, um, let's see, I'm getting a question here. What is your take on meals being bigger in the morning and less in the evening? There's not, it depends on how hungry you are. So I don't have a certain opinion about it, but I want you to break that fast. And breaking that fast means you're giving your body some more nutrients when it needs it, right? We don't, unless you sleepwalk, and I'm pretty sure you don't know if you sleepwalk, unless you've seen it on the camera and you're like, oh crap, I sleepwalk and I sleep eat, then you're probably not hungry in the morning. But you definitely want to eat at least, depending on how much you're working out, depending on how much you are um, getting in the gym, what it is, how many calories you're usually losing throughout the day. If you're getting, let's say here, if you're getting 10,000 steps a day on the normal, you're losing 500 calories right there. You're losing 500 to 600 calories, right? That's plenty of energy. That's plenty of things that you're losing, and you need to go ahead and intake more. So if you are working out on top of that, you're losing probably another 500 calories in your hour-long workout or less, depending on how intense they are. So then you're losing 500 more calories. So that's 1,000 calories that you're already out, that you are already out throughout the day, right? I struggle to eat a good breakfast weekdays while at work. Usually only eat oatmeal. Then I'm very hungry and I feel I eat a lot later at lunch and dinner. So then eat more during breakfast. You have fruits. Do you have a banana? Do you have eggs? Do you add chia seeds if you're able to? Obviously, if your diet's able to do that. Do you add chia seeds to it? Do you what is it that you feel comfortable adding? That's where you want to go ahead and use that mindset of, okay, hey, I'm eating only this, but I'm super hungry. Usually if you're only intaking one certain meal and that's that one certain and you're always hungry lunch and dinner, intake a little bit more during that time. So put some blueberries on it. Go ahead and add a side of yogurt. Um, Something that's going to make you feel a little bit more full. You shouldn't ever just avoid eating it because you think you're eating too much. If you eat it slowly and you let your body remember that it's okay to eat. Your body takes 20 minutes to realize that it's full, right? Sometimes we only have 30 minutes to eat and do whatever we got to do, right? So oh good. I'm glad that's making sense, and it's good. I'm glad that's making sense. But eat whatever you feel like eating. Sometimes your meals may be bigger in the morning because you didn't intake enough in the evening. Remember, when you're sleeping, your dinner is being used for recovery. It's being used for resting you. It's being used for you to recover that night, to go into the next day, to be fully rested and invested and to crush that day. But sometimes we don't always intake enough during that dinner time, depending on if your body's catching up. So that's where sometimes you're really hungry one day and the next day you're like, oh, I feel like I did pretty good. I didn't wake up starving again. And it's not a bad thing that you wake up starving, right? It's because you didn't eat for 8 hours, you didn't eat for 6 hours, you didn't eat for 5 hours, you didn't eat for 10 hours. I don't know how many hours you sleep, but depending on what it is that you get, how much sleep you get in, you could be more hungry than others. If you are just getting over a cold, your body's working overtime to get over that, so you're going to be more hungry. Please feed your body when you're sick, you guys. I'm telling you, if you aren't feeling up to eating, you need to get in more calories, because your body is trying to get white blood cells here, there. Where is this coming from? I'm trying to fight it off. If you give yourself what you need, if you give yourself your body, if you give your body what it needs, it's going to be able to fight and it's going to win. It may take a little bit more than 3 days. It may take a week. but you won't feel as lethargic. You'll feel a little bit more energized. When I'm sick, I'm absolutely starving all day long. I can tell when I'm tired or when my body's trying to fight something because I'm super hungry, normal than usual. And I'm a guy that eats a lot of food. So that's what you want to do is listen to your body, eat slowly. 20 minutes it takes for your body to realize that it is full. So, yes, it is definitely going to take some time. Don't think that I'm glad this is great advice for you. And I'm glad that you're getting to know that it is a mindset change, but be okay with the process. Be okay with saying, okay, I'm going to eat this, but I don't want, if I'm thinking I need to work out more because I'm eating this, I want to change that. I'm eating this so I'm not so tired. I'm eating this to go ahead and get more energy to play with my kids. I'm eating this, to give me more energy to go on the walk with my dog. I'm eating this to be able to take care of my family. I'm eating this to be able to take care of my parents who aren't doing so well. I'm eating this to fight off this cold. I'm eating this so I am able to push myself better this next workout because I want this workout to be fire. I want to be able to lift twice as much as I did yesterday or the last time I did it. These are just different thoughts, and sometimes that's how I use it. So hopefully that helps you. Remember, the next time that you are dealing with this mindset, it takes time, so don't think it's going to happen overnight. I was 15, 16, and I still have those thoughts of me being super heavy. I'm not even 200 pounds right now, and I'm lifting way like 5 times heavier than I used to lift before I was a personal trainer. I was always afraid, but I thought I was the most shape that I wanted to be, but I was not. I was scared to use the barbell. I was scared to do some certain exercises until I educated myself and be able to took that dive, right? So being able to notice that food helps me push through these different struggles that I have, I was able to recognize and still tell myself. Sometimes I'll look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, I'm bloated. Fat Isaac's here, right? But then I'm like, what are you talking about? You've been crushing it through these workouts. You're being consistent. You're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. And then now that thought process is gone because you're realizing all the positive outcome that your body is absolutely amazing, right? Your body is pushing yourself to do this. It's pushing yourself to do this now. Now it's pushing yourself to do this. So recognize that your body is amazing and it's strong and it'll get through anything you give it. If you don't even give it enough, it's still going to work. But it's not going to be as healthy as it would be if you're giving it a little bit more, right? Your body's in debt. So you need to give it some more money so that it can work more efficiently. All right. So other than that, I hope that has helped you guys tonight. I really appreciate you all so much for hopping on. I hope this helps you. Remember, if you know somebody that is probably dealing with the same thing that I've been talking about tonight, make sure to let them know. Watch the replay. Send them this video because if this helped you, it's probably going to help somebody else. Tell them to fast forward if they want to fast forward through my little spiel about how I had to overcome it and then got into the really good juicy stuff. So I'm okay with that. As long as it helps somebody else, I want to change as many lives as possible. I want you to realize that you can get through this. It's just going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of change, and one more snack or one more meal to help you get through the hardest time of your mindset block, right? All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. I love you all so much. I just want to help everybody and anybody that I can come in contact with, let them know and educate you and educate them to be able to get this lifestyle change that they deserve, right? This is not lifestyle change that they need. It is the lifestyle change that you absolutely deserve because you are worthy, you are compassionate, you are courageous, you are strong, and you're a total badass. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. All right. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for my awesome cooking class at 3:30 Mountain Standard Time. Good night. Bam.